we completed 4 questions in the last session, and today's session we will be talking about, this is the 5th question team. So in this 5th question we will see how to handle bad records using the fail fast, drop malformed and permissive. These are called a read modes. What are these called? These are called a read modes. Read modes are 3: fail fast, drop malformed and permissive. What it does, how it will identify bad records. If the file is having a bad records, how these 3 will work is, fail fast, what it does, whenever it detects a bad record or corrupted record, immediately it is going to fail the job. Next, drop malformed, what it does, whenever it find a corrupted record in the data, it will drop such records, all the corrupted rows it is going to drop it. Only the valid good records only will be returned to the output. Permissive means, using the permissive mode we can capture what is the record which is basically corrupted. We can identify such records and we can able to filter out such records. We can capture it, what are the corrupted records or bad records we have. We can take those things, we can review it. If something needs to be corrected, we can inform the source team. We received the data like this, is this expected? If it is expected, do you want us to handle it? So we need to look at the data, we can able to handle it later once they confirm it. Total read modes are 3: fail fast, drop malformed, permissive. Fail fast will throw directly error whenever it detect bad record. Drop malformed, it is going to drop all the bad records and it gives only the good records in the output. Permissive, it gives good and bad records both, but it can also give you some kind of information. So what is the bad record? So that information also you can additionally get it using a additional column called, you can add a additional column like underscore corrupted underscore record, whatever you can just add, and you can able to capture the bad record information. Okay, now if you see, there can be data sets that may contain corrupt records. Those records don't follow data specific rules that are followed by correct records. Correct records, whatever rules it follows, those rules will not followed by the corrupted records. So those are called a corrupted records or bad records. The following dataset contains employee information with their employee ID, employee name, employee role. However, some records have a multiple roles as assigned to an employee separated by comma. So let me show you what is the data set is here. If you see, so you can see, right, 101 John Doe, software engineer. John Doe is a software engineer. Jane Smith is a data engineer comma data scientist. So if you see, for Jane Smith there are 2 roles assigned, data engineer and a data scientist. So if you take it into this, it is coming like this, but it will not come like this, because if you see there are delimiters. So comma delimiter, right? Then data engineer will consider as a 3rd column, data scientist will be considered as a 4th column. But here in your CSV file you have only 3 columns, but data is available for the 4 columns. Everybody understood? Now, as we discussed, fail fast, this mode will throw error if malformed records are detected while trying to read from a given dataset. If you used a drop malformed, this mode is used to drop corrupted records while trying to read from a given dataset. Whenever it identified the corrupted records, it is going to drop corrupted records. Permissive, it is the default mode. In permissive mode, nulls are inserted for the fields that could not be parsed, meaning whatever values it can't able to parse it to keep it in the data frame, those it will keep it as a null. If you want to retain bad records information in the data frame, you can add a additional column called column name of a corrupted records. You can just give the column name as a underscore corrupted underscore record, something like that, to detect such type of records. I'll show you in detail theoretically, plus we will go and do the hands-on lab. Understood everybody? So you have to look at here just to show you cleanly the data. I just put it in the table format, but data will not able to come this way. The reason is already data engineer comma data scientist means it will not consider data engineer and data scientist under a single column. It will consider data engineer as a third column, data scientist as a fourth column. Why? Because the delimiter is comma. Everybody understood till here? Please give some confirmation, Tim, quickly.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's quickly discuss about the modes. Okay, first one is on this data. If I apply a fail fast, it is going to fail. What it is saying, malformed records are detected in the record called this is the record. I did not put complete error message, but it can also tell you which record it is. So malformed records are detected in record 102 Jane Smith. That information it is going to give you if you use fail fast. If you use drop malformed, what it is doing, you see one or two record which is not there in the output. It is just dropped the bad record and it is keeping only the good data. Understood? Next, if you use a permissive, okay, what it is doing, we can have employed, employee name, employee role. Along with that, we can keep a one more column called underscore corrupted underscore record, which have a null. Here it will have a information about corrupted record complete details will be there here, and all other are null because all other are good. So based on this column you can able to filter out which are good records, which are bad records. Bad records you can able to take and you can send it for the review. Everybody understood? Now same thing we will go and do the hands-on. Let's come here. Okay, same data set. This is the data set you can see. So if you look at this data, so generally I have shown you, right, this data you need to think of this way. I just put it in the table format to make you understand, but you need to think this way. It is a comma separated. So till here if you have, it is a good record, but there is a additional data is added as a fourth column data is also added. Okay, that is a problem. Now if you come down, team, let me clear all the cell outputs. Okay, now let's attach the cluster. I already created the cluster and kept it ready for us. Now firstly you can see df.fs.ls whether under tables folder, under tables path, file store slash tables, emp underscore data.csv file is available or not available. It is available. What is the data that we have? Let's see, dbutils.fs.head. You can see, right? Okay, let me just put it this way. See here, employee ID, employee name, employee role. So this is the first row, this is the second row, team. In this row you can see, right, data engineer comma data scientist, third column and fourth column data. So same data whatever I have explained theoretically, same data. Now you see spark.read.csv option header comma true, option mode is fail fast. So if I use mode is fail fast while reading this particular CSV file, what is going to happen if at all any corrupted records are there, it is going to fail. Let's see whether it is going to fail or not. Let's see. Is it failing? Malformed records are detected in the record in record parsing. So what is that record parsing? 102 Jane Smith data engineer. So it is just giving that information which record it is trying to process. When we got the error 102 Jane Smith data engineer, while processing this particular record we found something extra. That's why this is a malformed record. Okay, you can see the complete record details. You can see data engineer comma data scientist. Now instead of using the fail fast, mode is fail fast, if I use a mode is drop malformed, what is going to happen, Tim? If I say drop malform, it is just going to drop the bad records. See, one or two is dropped and it is just keeping only the good data. Everybody understood how to handle bad records? You can see if you want to simply drop the bad records, you can use drop malformed. But if you want to throw an error whenever we detect a bad records, we can able to use the fail fast. Now we are going to the permissive. So in the permissive, if you see, I am adding a just a schema. Additional column I am adding is underscore correct underscore record. Okay, additional column I am giving is underscore corrupt underscore record. Now you just try to execute this. See, mode is permissive, but even if you are not giving the mode is permissive, it is a default mode, it will take it. But within the schema, as I have given underscore corrupt underscore record, so this is the additional column it is going to add, and you can see this additional column has the information which record is the bad record. Okay, this is null null null, and this is a bad record. So you know how to filter out the underscore corrupt records and the filter operation. I hope everybody aware, so that's why I'm not going further. You want me to take up the filter operation, you want me to show you, so let me show you, team. So df dot, okay, filter underscore corrupt underscore record is not null. So this is df underscore bad records. You can just display df underscore bad. So you can see 102 Jane Smith data engineer 102. So this complete information we can able to see. This is the problem. So this data is having a data scientist as well, but we just ignored it. But while reading, this is having some problem. Understood, Tim? Now, but one thing you need to understand now, Spark is very smart enough to read the data correctly, even though you have a bad records. What Spark does is, you can see it. What Spark does, if you are not using anything, even you are not using any schema, Spark knows user defined headers are 3, so I need to just read only 3 columns of information. It is going to read up to third column, but actual source data is having a problem. Okay, if you want to identify such problems, you have to use the modes. If you're not, if you don't want to just handle such type of problems, you can read it. So data will read correctly by the data frame, because data frame will look at headers. So there are 3 columns, means okay, up to third column only I need to read. These kind of use cases we have seen. To handle these things, I also explained to you how to handle these things using RDD. We were adding a fourth column, role 1, employee role 1, employee role 2. For wherever role 2 is available, we are keeping. Wherever role 2 is not available, we are keeping it as a null. We added a additional column using the RDDs. Okay, yeah, that's all for the question number 5, team. Now let's go to the, yeah.
Malaya, which mode we will use in real time? Generally, we have 3 modes, right? Fail fast and drop malformed and
Permissive
permissive.
you need to use, because permissive is having the capability of identifying the bad records, right? That we can able to send it for the review. So that is what you need to use here. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions, Tim?